Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Celebrity Natal Charts. Today, we are going to be looking at the natal chart of Billie Eilish, which I feel like just intuitively she might already have like a silly middle name that we don't have to make up, but we'll learn that together very soon as we're reading her chart. Miss Eilish is from Los Angeles, California, United States. She's born December 18th, 2001 at 11:30 a.m. Birth time accuracy excellent. 18 is the number of the moon tarot card, so this kind of does radiate some type of like Pisces and Piscean energy. And as much as I'm like, oh, all celebrities are Sagittariuses, all Sagittariuses are celebrities, and blah blah blah. For me, as a Pisces, I'm always like, well, if they're a good celebrity, like Glenda from the Wizard, I was like, well, if they're a good witch, they'll have Pisces in their chart, Which this is the Sagittarius rising Pisces video because her ascendant is in Pisces. And even for me, where I was like, oh, she's like a new girl on the block. Like, I don't like no Billie Eilish because she's, because I'm angry because I'm old. And I was like, oh, of course, look at her. She's a Pisces. Of course, you gotta love her, just like Chapel Roan and all the other new people coming out. But so she does not, what does it say? She does not have a middle name in this bio. But by the end of this video, we're gonna come up with a middle name for her. Billie Elizabeth Eilish, Pirate Braid O'Connell. And that's her name. Is that her whole name? Billie Irish Pirate Braid O'Connell. She does have a silly last name. That's her name. Pirate Braid? Pirate Baird. I don't know. I hope to God I'm saying that wrong because I don't even mind sounding stupid. Uh, what a weird name. What a super weird name. Billie Irish Pirate Bayard O'Connell is an American singer-songwriter. She first gained public attention in 2015 with her debut single "Ocean Eyes," written and produced by her brother Phineas O'Connell, with whom she collaborates on music and live shows. Yeah, she has like pretty blue eyes, very compassionate, very Pisces. That name, bro. And I was like so upset when I was doing the Shakira video. I was like, I don't know how to say anything in this video. I was like, is this even Spanish? Like, I don't know the name of these cities. I can't pronounce the name of the people. And just when you think that I'm just like xenophobic and racist, I don't really know how to speak English either. So here we go. And it's like most of it is muscle memory. Like I've never seen someone with the middle name Pirate Bayard or like what do you call it? The dyslexia kicks in and it's like, oh, her name is Pirate Braids. But new girl on the block. We obviously hate her because she's young, but we love her because she's a Pisces, and she has a first house in Pisces. And what does that mean? Having Pisces in the first house, also I believe she has Mars in Pisces as well. So as a Sun Sagittarius with the Mars in Pisces, she acts like a Pisces. What does that mean? It means she probably gets sick a lot, likes to lay down and go to sleep. Like if you were to honestly ask a Pisces, like, what's your favorite vacation destination? They'd be like, my bed. So that's the Pisces. Sometimes has like a fishy sort of look to them, or some type of like aquatic, Aquarian. Like she has big blue eyes, which is like the ocean. Her first album's name is Ocean Eyes. A lot of people say with the Venus in Pisces you get the big dreamy eyes, but then you have people like Justin Bieber, who is a Sun Pisces with rising Scorpio, and his eyes are sort of dark, or kind of like a dark stare to his eyes. This says that her father is probably very spiritual, or has like a really big connection to like God and the church and occultism and magic. Don't know what her father looks like, but probably looks a lot like her father. Pisces have like affinity to like certain cultures, like French culture and Portuguese culture, and I think like in the realm of Europe. Portugal is very much Pisces, where it's like I'm very powerful, I'm very strong, I have a lot of money, but I'm also very small, So it's like I don't have to be as big as France. I don't have to be as big as Germany or Russia. Like I stand on my own, right by the beach. And it is kind of like Portugal is sort of like petty too because it is like, haha, Spain. Like you thought you were gonna get coastline. Just kidding, Portugal. Um, and so they're moving to her second house that she has in Aries. This says that she might want to change her music into more. I mean, she already kind of wears like the thrasher and like chains or whatever, but it's like she might get into like screamo or something, or what is that movie? Like screamo, or it's like yell like metal rock, where they're like like screaming because it like helps her get money. Like that's what supercharges her finances. But then also getting connected to the government, or working for with the government, whether that's like USO or performing at the White House or something like that, is also bring her a lot of fortune. And it's like so as I would say with the rising Cancer and a second house in Leo, that their biggest priority should be to be famous and take good care of their hair. With the rising Pisces in the second house of Aries, it says to me like, yeah, take care of your hair, but also take care of like your mental health, and you know how Pisces are. Take care of your mental health, and maybe even talking about mental health, getting involved with the government, getting involved with organizations, finding and seeking stability and like anger management. So as much as I'm like, oh well, maybe she needs to just like go around shouting at people, and it'll give her more money. It's also maybe like, oh, managing that anger. But what I really wanted to say is like her potentially. This does have to do with the USO, but it's like I can't think of West Side, not West Side Story, South Pacific. Like I don't know, doing something that is similar to South the Broadway play South Pacific, or you maybe even using that as an aesthetic, for our next album or something would be very lucrative, especially like in terms of like wars and things like that happening. And then she has the third house in Taurus, which it says she's from LA, which is not really like a real third house in Taurus place to be from. Um, let's see, she's a songwriter. Her crazy name, Ocean Eyes. Yeah, so maybe perhaps she lives in a more suburban area of Los Angeles. I mean, like she could literally be from Compton for all I know, but like maybe somewhere a little bit more rural. And if that wasn't the case in her environment growing up, maybe that's a place that she preferred to live. Maybe like in the Hollywood Hills or in Oklahoma somewhere. I mean, I love musicals. I don't know if musicals. I guess musicals are sort of gay, so that's like a combination with Pisces. Um, but I do get the sense of like West Side Story, even though she's not Latina to my knowledge. I do get the sense of like South Pacific, like I can hear it in my head, Honey Bun. Um, Maybe she has some type of military past, maybe her parents from the military, grandparents, you never know, it's America. But so, I mean, I guess this is sort of LA, where it's like her childhood environment was very rich. So whether if, this wealth and this rich is in her pockets or in her parents' pockets or in the pockets of her neighbor, um, that is what she's experiencing or what she has experienced in her environment growing up. The fourth house does talk about your environment growing up, but more so talks about your connection to your mother. And as I'm uncontrollably having a southern accent, maybe her mother has some type of accent or something, or her grandmother does. And maybe they're from a farm, maybe she's like 2 or 3 generations away from a farm. And she has the fourth house in Gemini. So, fourth house in Gemini with the rising Pisces and also I believe Saturn in Gemini, it says that her mother caused a lot of limitations for her. Um, Saturn in Gemini, North Node in Gemini. So it's like her mother, maybe it's like her mother caused a lot of limitations for her, maybe into her own motherhood. Maybe her mother wouldn't make a very good grandmother. Maybe her mother says things like she doesn't want to be a grandmother. But it is her North Node. So she might like start working for Nike or become like a Nike model or something, because Gemini is her North Node in her destiny. And then her midheaven is also in Sagittarius. So It's like it's kind of like she's singing now, but she might become some type of athlete later. She might become like a political leader, or tarot reader. But there's like a lot of limitations between her and her mother. Um, she might know a Gemini guy who went to jail. It would be nice to know what her brother's sign is in this reading, as her brother supposedly had so much, push. They make their music together to her fame and everything. Um, Fourth house in Gemini does talk about like having a sibling or like a twin or like a brother, maybe the same age or maybe looks alike. Producing music, like what's his name? Like Kanye West is a Gemini, and he's like more of a DJ than anything else, right? I hope that is insulting. I love Kanye actually. It's just weird. I just see them as a person that is suffering from like the worst mental health, and it's sort of like the Taylor Swift video. It's like who's really comparable to Kanye? Like Kim Kardashian. I think it was like yeah, like as far as like looks go, you're like, oh, maybe they wouldn't like really most beautiful couple in the world, but it's like, yeah, who else is living in internet la la land? And maybe that's something she thinks about too, like who would be a good partner for her based on her success and the success of the people around her. Her next house, which is her fifth house, her house of sexy distraction, where she has the sign of Cancer, and also she has the planet of Jupiter. So this says to me that even before we get to her seventh house, like I feel like a good life partner for her, or a good travel buddy, or tennis partner, or sexual partner for her would probably be a woman who is a Cancer, and it would bring her a lot of good luck and fortune and fame. It's like, when it comes to being like gay or like a lesbian, I don't really feel like there's no like coding, you know what I mean? And it's like, everywhere you go, you just got to be like, I'm a lesbian. And it's like, where's the innuendo? Like, if you want to, it's like, oh, well, this is me and my tennis partner, Brittany, or Bridget, or whatever. And, we go travel together. And, we're just trying to be like, and I forgot her name. And we're just trying to be like, I think her name is, I want to say her name is like Nini or something on Reno 911, but that lady. It's like, that's like for me, I'm like, oh God, if I was a lesbian, I'd be her, and I can't think of her name for 5 seconds. But you guys know what I'm talking about, the black woman from Reno 911, and she's like gay now, and she's all happy on Instagram all the time. I think she's a Pisces. And I think I was going to do her video for, I keep calling her Nini Leaks, who is a Sagittarius, I think, but like, I know that's not her name. Um, It'll come to me. It'll come to me in my next video, I'm sure. I'll be like, oh yeah, what's her face? But like, something like that seems like it would be best if the Cancer, rising Pisces, aquatic, on a boat somewhere, relaxing. Jupiter in Cancer also talks to, I don't say this in every video, but it's like a astrological stereotype type thing, where it's like when the sun is in an energy that is comparable to your Jupiter sign, it's a good time of the year for you. So a good time of the year for her is when the sun is in Pisces, when the sun is in Cancer, and when the sun is in Scorpio. So around like back to school time in the middle of the summer and around spring. These are lucky, fortunate times for her. Cancers bring her a lot of good luck and fortune. Maybe she has a lot of female fans that like want to look like her and want to be like her, and then it's like 'cause I think she's like very open about being overweight, or like she wears baggy clothes, which is like super rock and roll for a woman. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, I only know that one song, Bad Guy or something. I literally only know one song by her, but I really like that song, and like it is kind of super duper rock and roll to be a woman and wear like a big blousey t-shirt and be like, am I fat? Am I skinny? Do you like me? You don't know, do you? Because you're fat phobic, and if I lift this up and there's jelly rolls, you're gonna be turned off. So, and then being a Pisces, like, and it's something being a Sun Pisces myself that I don't like to admit, but it's like there are the sign of overindulgence. Pisces, Taurus, they're typically quite large. But in the Jupiter and Cancer too, like the abundance of Sagittarius and Jupiter and Cancer, like, the ever for eating gaping maw of a crab that just never ceases and will tear down their own friends to the bottom of the barrel to continue to eat them. In fear, probably. They're probably going to get boiled, to be dinner later. Um, so that brings her a lot of luck. And then any challenges that she might have with like same-sex attraction or, being too attracted to her mother, Oedipus complex type stuff. Rising Pisces, Oedipus complex, weird. Um, Never put that together. Uh, how did she heal herself from that is with her sixth house in Leo, which is meaning to be famous. So James Hong, with the James Hong video is so like prolific and like just like the quintessential like that's the best video of all these videos even the videos I've yet to do because I was like trying to explore Chinese and lunar astrology and I was like I don't know nothing about nothing. I know about 4 signs in Chinese. I was like I don't know anything. And I was like I don't even know what year it is right now in the Chinese New Year. I was like I think it was like Tiger like maybe 2 years ago. I was like I need like a Starbucks gift card to remind me. Um, but then, I was like, I don't know much about the snake. And then I released the video like randomly. All the times that I schedule for these videos to be released, it's like random. I'm like, oh, there's a couple videos here, a couple videos there. Released at 3 p.m., I guess. And then it released around January. I guess I maybe recorded it around maybe like December or October. And I was like, and then it was the year of the snake. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, that's awesome. I don't know her Chinese sign. It's 2001. I think that's like maybe the dragon or whatever comes before or after a dragon. And I could look it up and I could pretend that I am this great lunar astrologer, but I'm not. And I'm not going to do it and I don't care. 2001 might be a horse. I don't know. I know 2000 I think is the dragon. So then, whatever. I'm not going to expose how little I know. But so like James Hong, and I was like, I think James Hong had like Pluto in the fifth house of Cancer, and it's like he's worried about his mother dying. And maybe she's worried about her mother being better than her because she's a Sagittarius and she has Jupiter here, and she's like, I gotta be better than my mother. I'm gonna be better than her. And she's like, I'm an old lady. You're already better than me. And how should you get over that? How does she become better than her mother? Is by becoming famous with his sixth house in Leo. And she has nice hair. She has nice, interesting hair. It's like black, raven beauty, beautiful little eyes. And so it's like having good hair, being famous, being popular, and that's how she gets over whatever wounds her mother was trying to give her. Or, women are mean, and like women are mean, people are mean. So it's just like to expect that this like female guardian that you have is going to be nice to you, or is going to do, or is going to like you. Is kind of insane. So, just be aware of that. And, yeah, so that's her sixth house. And the sixth house in Leo, I think, is like a really good position to have, it can't all be good, you know what I mean? So, I'm like, but I think Leo in the sixth house, rising Pisces, Sun in Sagittarius is a really good place to be. Work on your fame every day and you get a little bit more popular every day, social media, things like that. When it comes to her health, work, and service, so like if I didn't, if I was like Billie Ray, what is her, like her, I just cannot be her name. Am I the last person to find it? Like, I wonder, like, does everybody know that they've been freaking out about this since like 2010 or I guess 2015 or whenever she came out? They're like, there's some girl named Billie Irish Pirate Parade O'Connell, and she's just like taking over the music industry. Billie Irish Pirate Baird. I'm like trying to sound like it's such a crazy name. I'm like trying to sound it out like Baird. It's like French or something. I don't know. What is an Eilish? What is this? This chart is fake. Her name is. She's not real. She's a clone. Good day. Bye. But so yeah, sixth house, becoming famous is a good way to heal herself. If she wasn't a singer or famous, maybe a hairdresser, which is also gay, coded, and or working with celebrities and working with fame, or even being like a Joel McHale. They're just like talking about celebrities, working with being a nurse for being a celebrity doctor, being a tutor or a teacher in LA somewhere, teaching celebrities' children. And then her seventh house she has in Virgo. So, Virgo and Sagittarius are very compatible. It is like, it's in my head, I'm like, Sagittarius is the horse and Virgo is the horse girl that loves horses. And then she has the rising Pisces, and I'm a Pisces sun, and I cannot stand Virgo. I don't even really like Taurus so much. So, like the whole like dating your seventh house or getting married to your seventh house seems like so bizarre to me. But maybe it has like other things that I have going on with Aries. Because I'm like I hate them. Like, like I'm a Pisces. I love Chinese food. They're a Virgo. They're gonna want pizza. Like, I want Play-Doh. They want Play-Doh. I want to go to the moon. They want to go to Mars. It's like, how do you ever merge with somebody in your seventh house? It's like, I want an old car, they want a new car. And it's like, we can't even drive in the same car together. How am I supposed to be with you? I want to sit in silence on the beach and get a tan, or sit under the moon and, moon tan like Morticia. And they want to go ride some Sagittarius like a horse. But her story perhaps is different because she is a Sagittarius and she has a rising Pisces, and she probably already has a Virgo best friend that she contemplates about being in love with, and maybe it'll boil over and they'll fall in love one day. But this also talks to me about a one. I guess it's like I don't know what you call it, but like it's like the grass is greener on the other side. So she's like, I have a third house in Taurus. I grew up in LA. She could have grown up in the city. She could have grown up in the suburbs. And she's like, maybe that's so much to say when meeting people. And it's like, not only am I like the toast of the town, I'm also from Los Angeles. So it's like maybe she wants to have like a more humble um, upbringing. Like, oh, my name is Billie Eilish Pirate Parade, and I'm just from Akron, Ohio, and it was such a long shot, and I got here. Because the thing about Sagittarius is because, like, when I see the Page of Wands or the Knight of Wands in the tarot, I'm like, oh, this person's a foreigner. They're from, like, an orange country. Like, they're from Mexico or from India. Mexico is a red and white and green. India is, like, the white, orange, and green. But it's, like, where people have copper skin and they are orange, like the Knight of Wands. She is obviously from LA. So maybe there is like a thing about her where she wants to be like more of a country mouse. And I've been kind of feeling this too because I've been watching a lot of like Green Acres, where I'm like, I think that Green Acres and Designing Women, whereas for whatever reason, this like fat Americans, we hate everybody from America, you're all Anna Nicole Smith, thing will either go away or become popular, where it's like, you'll see like the Real Housewives of Dubai trying to be 600 pounds and date a guy with a weak heart and just, pop him out of his wheelchair and get his money and win, you know? So, because Sagittarius, it's like, the Wheel of Fortune tarot card. I'm like, oh, it's natal chart readings, but it's also your washer and dryer, it's your tire, it's like levers and switches and furnaces, like, how you would like, what is it in the Rocky Horror Picture Show? And he flips the switch, It's that the switch. It's like a circle. It's a Wheel of Fortune, or how you would even like spin the Wheel of Fortune with Drew Carey, the game show. And then your natal chart is sort of like your own personal Wheel of Fortune, and that is all relative to whatever I was talking about, because you can rewind the video and figure out what I was trying to say, as I no longer remember. But so she has a seventh house in Virgo. Should date a Virgo. She has a eighth house in Libra. So the eighth house, house of want, wishes, and desires, sex, death, and taxes. With Libra here, I feel like that's more her saying like she wants to date somebody to figure out sex, death, and taxes for her. So it's like, I don't understand my sexuality. I don't want to spend a lot of energy on it. I'm a Pisces. I'm just going to lay here like a fish. You tell me if I'm gay or straight. I made this amount of money. You tell me if I'm in the black or in the red. Like, I don't know. Which sort of like with her music, not to say that her brother is a Libra. We'll find out later and be like, ooh, something. Like, oh, he has a south node in Libra. Tarot Babe was right. But a partner, so if not her brother, then she's like very like codependent. Like, oh, do for me, please. Like, please, I would want my want and wish and desires for you to do sex, death, and taxes for me, and then that way I don't have to do sex, death, and taxes. But this also says to me that when it comes to occultism and spirituality and astrology and magic, it is more of a focus on relationships. So there was some, but Drew Barrymore, I believe, and I was like, Drew Barrymore uses magic for business, and her talk show was good. Her talk show was a million times better than RuPaul, and oh god, I don't know whose video I'm gonna have to do this in, but like, and I think people already know, and like RuPaul's been canceled like 20 years ago. But I hear like a lot of like not even spirits, like living voices of drag queens being, because I sometimes I like her stuff on TikTok, and I'm just trying to support the girls in some way that I can, without having to give them a tip or a dollar and go to a nasty COVID ridden nightclub. But they're like, please don't support her, like she's so mean, and she made my name a joke, and for like 30 years it was a joke about me that I was not in on. I hate RuPaul, and like I hear them all, because there's like maybe like 4 or 5 of the queens who she's like taken to the top with her, and there's other ones that she's just like left in the mud. I don't even know why this is about RuPaul right now, but spirits talk to me. Not even spirits, like living telepathic people talk to me all the time and try to distract me from achieving the things that I need to achieve, like a fucking magical ghost. But this is about Billie Eilish, and not about RuPaul. I guess we're in the eighth house, and we're okay, yeah, because Drew Barrymore's talk show. Yeah, the Drew Barrymore talk show. It's good. We love Drew Barrymore. I'm a Barrymore because Diana Barrymore has the same birthday as me. But, so for her, she's more about like, should I wear, is this wearing this black shirt stopping me from finding love? Should I be wearing pink and yellow? Like a Libra, Venusian colors in the eighth house, which I believe RuPaul is a Scorpio, but I also believe that everything he says is a lie. And that's her ninth house. And her 10th house is in Scorpio, which is RuPaul's sign. Which I think she was on Drag Race. She most definitely seems like she'd be the type to be a judge on Drag Race. And maybe she has a lot of feelings about RuPaul. But her 9th house is in Scorpio. So this says to me that when it comes to marriage or so it's like marriage, long-term relationship, or long-distance relationship. So if she wanted to do a 90-day fiance or date somebody who's in India, which, if she was dating an Aquarius who lived in India, they probably like lose focus on her and spend their attention on someone who's like next door or 5 miles away or 1 mile away, opposed to someone who's on the other side of the earth. But if she were to date an obsessive Scorpio, even if they're not native to India, like she wants to date some Tyler or some Chad, and he's like, I'm sorry, Pirate Parade, like I gotta go to India and learn yoga. And then if he's a Scorpio, then it's like, okay, well, you're not gonna meet anybody there because you're a weirdo Scorpio and you're not gonna trust anyone. And you're gonna be calling me every night and we can still be in love. So, Tyler the Creator. I think Tyler the Creator is a Pisces or something. Scott Mescudi, if what's his name? If Kid Cudi is like, Nick Cannon thinks he's going to get the jump on me in Hinduism with his bad turbans, I'm going to go to fucking India with Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys, and he's going to teach me Ashtanga Yoga, and I'm going to message Billie Eilish every night and fall in love with her, Like, so he's a rising, so he's a Pisces, oh no. I think he's a Capricorn. He's a Capricorn rising Scorpio, I think. So maybe I'm the matchmaker from Mulan, because I know everybody's rising sign with poor accuracy charts from astro charts. My beard does connect. So, or maybe she's supposed to get married to RuPaul. Who knows? Maybe he'll go to India and he does try to like sneak in his like very small amount of astrological knowledge into his videos, which I always appreciate about a person. I'm just like, you don't have to be Walter Mercado to say that you believe in astrology. And I think that was like the thing that I saw in the Jim Carrey chart, which this is a very Pisces reading, to be like, thinking about everybody else and like treating them like they're the gutter, like you're part Jim Carrey and RuPaul and this and that, jambalaya. But I did see the Jim Carrey chart where it's like, oh, if I'm not respected as the Hollywood medium, then psychics and astrology and mediums are not real. And he has like a rising Scorpio, I believe. So I don't really see that with her. I think with her as a Sagittarius, with a rising Pisces, I'm pretty sure she's like astrologers and tarot readers are real, and what they say has merit. But I just want them to serve me in my kingdom. I don't necessarily want to be a voodoo practitioner or a psychic myself, even though I may have psychic intuition. And then her 10th house, the midheaven, which her midheaven I think is in between Capricorn and Sagittarius, because the midheaven is a degree in between the ninth and the 10th house, or the 10th and the 11th house. Is in Sagittarius, where she also has her sun. And so it's like it's her destiny to be successful in her career. When's her birthday? The 18th. It's her destiny to be successful in her career. It is her destiny to use the law of attraction and love. And then to pass the torch, with Pluto also being in her 10th house as well. Like, we're all fated to go sometime. And I think this is a very powerful, the Venus in Sagittarius. So it's like very competitive about relationships. Maybe her mother and her father's relationship was really good. And that's the thing too. It's like, being a Sagittarius, being in a competition with your mother, with your father, and they raised you and they allowed you to be Billie Eilish Pirate Parade. And it's like, well, then when you have kids, it's like your responsibility, like your kid better be like, literally like the reincarnation of young Michael Jackson or something, or like an alien baby or whatever, to like compete with how like loving and coddled and nurtured she is. Because like I said, I only know that one song, Bad Guy, but I do know that her parents, so they say, and the Vogue interviews and stuff, like kind of like paved the way or cleared the way or made it okay for her to want to pursue music. And I think also if you give your child a legal government name of Billie Eilish, it's like, she's either going to be like Billy Ray King or the tennis player, or she's going to be like Billy Idol. It's like her name is basically Billy Idol Pirate Parade O'Connell. So that's her. And then even with that, maybe even knowing that, it's like, okay, well, I got to be better than Billy Idol. I got to be better than Mama, and I got to be better than my brother. He thinks he's better than me because he produces my music, And Sagittarius, you may not have that look on her face, but I know that's her inner story, because like the Nine of Wands, they're like, I'm gonna be taller than you one day. It's like, you're 48, you're never gonna be taller than you. What are you talking about? But then also like, Valentine's Day might be a really tricky time for her, because she's like, oh, well, if you're going to buy my girlfriend a boat, I'm going to buy her a fleet, and, I'm going to be better than you. And I guess like the Pluto is like, I'm going to be better than you if it kills me. But we like to say in the celebrity natal chart reading series that Pluto does not represent death, even though it's the Grim Reaper. We're going to pretend that it's all about clothes. And I don't know if she wears black all the time. I literally just got dressed before I did this video, and I'm wearing like yellow and pink and black. And so I was like, when I was reading the part about her 8th house in Libra, I was like, this is about me? Is this sweater going to stop me from finding love? So, there's that. And so Venus in Sagittarius also talks about like, also she attracts like a Sagittarius. So it gives me, and also talking about Libra, talks about the movie in Pluto and the 10th house too. Talks to me about the movie Better Off Dead, where it's like, I can't just fall in love with somebody. Like they have to, ski down a black diamond first. And then I'm like, yes, him. I didn't like his face, and I don't like his personality, but he just skied down that black diamond. And for some reason, that just gets my boom going, Because in the movie Better Off Dead, it's like John Cusack, and he's in love with a French foreign exchange student, I think like in a popular girl. And the French foreign exchange student likes him for who he is, but he's like, I need to be a Sagittarius and cross over a hurdle before I feel like I'm worthy for somebody's love. So maybe that for her is like, I'll think about love and relationship once I have like an armful of Grammys like Whoopi Goldberg. And then die or whatever because of Pluto. And I think she also has, and I think Chiron is in Capricorn for her. I hope so. Yes, Chiron and Capricorn. That was a very, very crowded 10th house with the sun. The sun takes all the air out of the room already. So So she's very much a Sagittarius. She's very competitive, very much like Sagittarius. I think of like a pageant girl. Like they ain't gonna help you. You know what I mean? Like if they give you a safety pin or a dress to wear, it is sabotage. It is the sabotage. Um, and she has Chiron and Capricorn, so it's like she is really good at helping people with business and giving them business advice. So as I'm like, oh, she should be in West Side Story, and she should be in South Pacific, and she should do Broadway, and anything goes, and maybe everybody. I'm like, oh, you should do Broadway because like you got to pay like at least like $80 a ticket a night, and they can't like record it like Patti LuPone. So I think she has really good bit, and maybe the reason why she is so selfish with information is because she has really good business advice for everybody. Like she literally knows what movie they're supposed to be in and what music they should be making, what project they're supposed to be doing, but it's not as clear for her because of Chiron. And I don't know if Chiron necessarily talks about psychic or intuitive abilities, but that's how how I feel about my Chiron. That's how I feel about other people's Chiron, where I'm like, I have Chiron, I think, in Leo. And it's like, oh, I know exactly what you should be doing to being famous. Oh, yeah, you should dress like Chris Griffin from Family Guy, and you should go to Comic Con, and you'd make $1 million. All right, what about me? Like, what do you think about me? Even to the point that I used to do photography, and it's like, I can use this photo and put it on the right website at the right time and push your star forward, but I don't necessarily know how to do that for myself. It is a wound that I cannot heal in myself, but I can heal in other people because it is Chiron. So she has great business advice for people. The world is nutty. Like Susie Orman. You know what I mean? I don't know anybody else's name, but I know hers. I'm going to find out that girl from Reno 911's name because I follow her on Instagram and everything, and I'm like a big fan of her relationship. But I don't want to depend on everything on Google. But like she could definitely be like the next Susie Orman, like a Gary Vanderchuk, and like, oh, okay, well, like you used to sing blues music, but nobody likes the da 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 no more. So this is what you should be doing, and she'd be really good at that. And that's her 11th house with her friends. So she's like, she might sound like a jerk too, where it's like, okay, you're Billie Ray Irish, and Pirate Parade, and your parents loved you and they let you do music, and your brother helps with your music, and you're, it's 2000. She's almost had a career, I guess, spanning of 10 years. If she started in 2015, it's like 2025 right now. And then she's telling her friends, "Oh, you should work as a meter maid, or you should work at the movie theater." And they're like, "Of course you're gonna tell me I should go work at the movie theater while you're sitting here with Marie Antoinette, Kirsten Dunst eating cake." But it's like she knows, and it's like only from having the perspective of being a Sagittarius or from a Capricorn and standing at the top of the mountain and be like seeing like, okay, you're trying to get to the top of the mountain. Well, I'm already here, and I'm not psychic. I'm just on top of the mountain. I know the paths and winds and where the caveats are and where they'll fall. And it's like, okay, you do this, you get this job at Starbucks, you won't have to fall into this pitfall. And it's like, my parents worked so that I could be Billie Ray Irish, and your parents are not going to do that for you. You need to be your own daddy and your own mommy. And it might sound mean and very Capricorn. She has also the Mercury in Capricorn too. It's like, it's just like very black and white. It's like, you're trying to get up this, it's like, okay, you're trying to get up this mountain, the same mountain I just climbed. I'm telling you that at, 200 feet of altitude, there is a chasm, and you are going to need to work at Starbucks to have a bag of straws in your pocket so you do not fall at the bottom of this chasm or something, a cup or whatever, I don't know. A cup in your hand. And it's like, because I crossed that chasm, and my mommy gave me her cup, So you need a cup, or whatever it is. I don't know. Work the analogy out on your own. Figure it out, But I guess maybe she gives like very like cutthroat, dry advice because the Mercury in Capricorn, the Chiron in Capricorn are how to help people, especially when it comes to like their career and their job. A lot of people kind of internalize like they're just going to be in a single place that they are, and she's like, no, like you could be swinging on a star, like you could go further, you could do better, you could be the best. Sagittarius, like, what, you want me to be better than you your whole life? She might say it just like that, like very mean. Okay, and then so that's her. She probably has like a lot of friends. Because even her 12th house still talks about friends and friendship and technology because she has a 12th house in Aquarius. And she also has Neptune, the moon, and Uranus in Aquarius as well, which is Aquarius' ruling planet, so it's very strong. She might be very emotionally attached to her friends. She doesn't have Venus in Aquarius, but she has the moon in Aquarius. So she's like, I'm trying to find ways to tell you that I love you without being all schmaltzy. And for me, that's telling you about how good enough you aren't and how much of a failure you are in your career. And that's how I tell you I love you. Or even like, because I've noticed Capricorns will do, oh, you should have did this, or you should have done that. They like to do the play-by-play, like sports teams do. They're like, oh, you went out there and you tried to sing. You should have been a dancer. That'd have been a lot better for you in hindsight. Which is sort of like not good, but and I guess as I say in the series, the planet of Neptune is sort of like the doorway into being on television or on movies. So I guess whoever that was for her was probably a friend or an Aquarius, or it sounds like it's be her mom, her dad, and her brother. But it could be one of their friends. They could be an Aquarius. The literally like the DA or the director's assistant or AD or whatever on the set of the first time she appeared on TV could have been an Aquarius. And that is Billie Ray Irish. This video is 4 hours long. I could not get over her name. I feel like she has a silly middle name, like Elizabeth or something. Billie Elizabeth Eilish, or orangutan, or just like something middle namey. Like a middle names are supposed to be something like humbling and embarrassing, right? And never in a million years did I think her name was gonna be Billy Idol Pirate Billy Idol Irish Pirate Parade O'Connell O'Shaughnessy O'Malley Rutherford the Sixth. Like I was like not prepared for that. And we had to spend 20 minutes on RuPaul and 20 minutes about how she thinks everybody is not good enough. So that this video is 6 hours long. And I appreciate you sending this video to your favorite Sagittarius rising Pisces to tell them about how great and how successful they're going to be because they are just like Billie Eilish. And no matter how silly your middle name is, you can still accomplish things and be a great person, a person of note. But then also being a celebrity, dear Sagittarius, being a celebrity and being a person of note and being famous isn't everything. Like sometimes I think, to me, probably based on whatever planets I have in my chart, I think that being rich is everything. I think that being rich is the best thing because when you're rich, you get sick, people will help you because you have money to pay them. But then also the rich get robbed and, the famous, their reputations get tarnished. So it's not the worst thing in the world to live a humble life and to have nobody know your name, especially when like one day you'll find out that it might be better to have nobody know your name and it might be better to not be a Sagittarius or have strong Sagittarian placements or a rising Scorpio or a moon and Pluto and the rising Pisces that seems so lucky and fortunate for other people, and it might be good to have the sun in Virgo and the rising Libra, and it's like all you do is struggle to eat the right amount of food, but hey, you have a bunch of food, don't you? And you overeat. Oh no, that's the worst thing ever. Oh, that's so bad. At least you have food to overeat on. And you may never get on TLC and you may never get on Bravo, and it's like, oh wow, all my childhood trauma hasn't been exposed on TV for people to make fun of. Oh no. Like they're not putting me in the stockade and laughing at me. Oh shit. So just, your life is your life and your chart is your chart, hopefully. Hopefully it's not someone else's chart or your birth information was switched with somebody else. And thank you so much for liking and sharing and subscribing to this channel and listening to me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.